Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm Shannon Reed with United Way of Greater Milwaukee. I know you all are here for a special day today, which is, I believe, Career Day. So let me just take the time once again to say thank you. I know that you all will be having some discussion with my other colleagues who are there today. And unfortunately, I am not able to be there. I wish I could have been, but I'm actually at a conference today. So forgive me for not being there. I would love to have been there. But one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to speak with you all. First of all, I am alum of Cardinal Rich. As you can see, the Wolves behind me, go Wolves. So I'm very excited. The other thing I wanted to say is that as we get to talking about Career Day and as we go through some of the questions about what are you going to do and what are your plans are for the next basically 4 years that you'll be in college. So talk a little bit about that. So I'll start off with the questions here.
Shannon, what's your job here at United Way? Tell us a little bit about that.
I am the income portfolio manager for United Way. I manage approximately about 28 agencies within the city of Milwaukee. In what I do, I'm in the community a lot. But my overall things that I do in my job, which my job description is, I manage agencies, which we go through some funding that's provided by United Way, and I manage the oversight of those agencies. So kind of what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the money that comes into the United Way facility, I am making sure that that money is being spent with those specific agencies. And we're just trying to make sure that as we are doing good in the community, we want to make sure that the money that is being given to us, that the community is actually using that money for a good purpose.
Shannon, tell us a little bit about your day-to-day. What does a normal day look like for you?
Oh, that's a great question. A normal day-to-day job for me is I'm in a lot of meetings. I have a lot of meetings. I sit with a lot of different collaborators and a lot of different partners. Typical day would be is I would get in. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm more of a water drinker. Get in during the day, kind of figure out what the layout is. Check my calendar. I actually live and die by my calendar, which I know that's sometimes not good for a lot of people, but I do. So I kind of map out what I'm going to do for the day, plan out my day from there, and go to some of my meetings that I attend. I also try my best to do some reading. I try to get some reading in between the day, what's going on in the community. I think that's important to know what's going on in your community. So I get a chance to check out either the Business Journal or I check out Journal Signal online. And sometimes I even listen to a TED Talk every once in a while, which is just something to get the brain juices going. So that's a typical day for me. I get a chance to sit down, and once again I get to sit down with a lot of individuals and talk about things that are going on in the community. And so that's kind of a typical day for me.
So Shannon, how did you get to the job you have now? What's your educational background and your work background?
Well, another good question. I did my undergrad at Upper Iowa University, which that degree I got there was in 2005, was an information technology management degree, which basically what I would do is I would look at a lot of different databases, and then we would transfer a lot of information into different spreadsheets. So throughout my career there, that's kind of what my degree was in as far as my undergrad. But the one thing that I did learn is that it taught me to deal with a lot of different personalities. And as you start getting into your degree, you'll have a lot of different personalities to kind of deal with, which you have to apply application and then you have to apply people skills. My next degree, which I am so excited about, which I got in 2011, was my Master of Science Management at Cardinal Rich University. And I think that was that degree for me was probably the most proud degree, because that degree I actually, there were 4 people that I started out with, and those 4 people that I started out with I also graduated with. And until this day today, we are still friends, we still are connected, but we learned a lot about each other. We also were at different organizations, which gave us a chance to see, what did you do in your organization that you would apply your degree with? And so it was really beneficial for me to go through that process. And the one thing I want to tell you all, as you all go through this process, you'll meet a lot of friends along the way. But make sure that, you stay connected, because that's very important, because you never know. That may be the bridge that gets you over to your next level in that opportunity. So that's what I got my degree in, and I'm very excited about it.
Shannon, what is it like to work in a nonprofit like United Way? And have you ever worked in the corporate world or a smaller nonprofit? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I have worked in the nonprofit world for probably about 15 years now. Prior to me coming here, I was at a smaller nonprofit as I was an internal auditor there, and I got a chance to look at different organizations, and we would kind of look at some of their policies and procedures. And as an internal auditor, I had to deal with a lot of CEOs, a lot of board members on what are the best practices and policies of specific programs. So I was there for about 6 years, and then which led me over to where I am now, which is United Way, and very excited about that for the tenure I've been here, and I'm still excited about it. And so as the income portfolio manager, the work that I did as an internal auditor, I'm still doing the same work. I'm looking at specific agencies. I'm also looking at the money that the agency is getting. Are you doing the best for the community with that money? And that's important. And I've been excited about that, and I'm glad to be at United Way, actually doing what I love. And not only doing what I love, but also having a degree where I got my degree at Cardinal Stritch to be able to apply some of those skills to that.
Shannon, what advice do you have for freshman students, undecided majors, as they look ahead to their college career and their career beyond college?
Well, these are all good questions, and for you individuals who are going through this process, I think the most important thing is, and now I'm talking from the heart here, and so I want to make sure that you all get this. The first thing you want to make sure you do is be open for something new. I know that during school, you're going to have a lot of papers, you're going to have a lot of deadlines to meet, but try your best to do something different. You may not know what you're going to have. You may not be decided specifically what you're going to do in your degree, but just take some time to figure out what it is that I want to do, and try to find that passion. Look for that passion button. If you can get a degree in something and also have your passion with it, it'll work out the best for you. The next thing you need to make sure you do is network, network, network. As you go through your process, make sure you take some time to sit down with some CEOs. Call them up and say, I'm interested in your organization. What are you all planning to do in the next 2 years? And maybe that'll be something for you to kind of plan out what you're going to do. I am excited for you all. I am definitely looking forward to if there's some way for me to connect with you all. I know you'll be talking with some of the other colleagues that are there, and I'm sure Katie will give you my information. If there's any way that I can help, if there's any way that I can be of assistance, please do not hesitate to call me or contact me, email me, or any of that. And once again, I want to say thank you all for letting me be a part of this. And remember, go Wolves.